look, LeBron's the better player. As much as I'm going to sit here and I could rave about Steph all day long, he's the better player.
Yes, but
But the impact part of it, because and this is a simple body thing. All right, Steph's the first guy kids looked at being like, oh, maybe I can do it. Some of this, like, you don't ever look at like there's no teenager sitting around like, I should maybe say junior high because there's some massive high school kids, but you're not watching LeBron going, maybe I'll be 6'8" and have the greatest vision since Magic Johnson. It's not obtainable. Where Steph was the first guy in what, I remember a GM 20 years ago. It's one of my favorite quotes. I used to go to all the draft stuff. I still do go to the combine and everything for the NBA. And he was like, Ryan, we're in a height business. We are in a height business. And there are the exceptions, and we can talk about all the guys. But like Steph was the first guy that physically felt obtainable as a star. There's just like that sport's not supposed to let this happen.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you on the impact part of it, because as soon as he started coming around, and I still like to play pickup, whatever, you could tell, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, guys are just pulling up from all over the place, and I'm like,
pickup basketball.
That's what I mean.
Everywhere.
Right? Yeah, it wasn't about trying to do like any cool layup or like try to emulate some Jordan thing up until the no dunking part, but like guys would be cradling layups and all this kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden you're playing pickup, going, wait, so dudes are just pulling up from like a couple feet behind the NBA line, and that's just what happened. I mean, men and boys.
It kind of sucks.
There's also
like if you watch basketball now, like I watch basketball right now, and I watch teams just shoot threes back and forth. They don't even, and like when they're not making them, it looks bad.
I would agree with you. As much as I love it, it doesn't mean I can't be open to like legit criticisms. And I love League Pass. It's part of the job. It's not a bad life watching basketball all the time. But there's certain nights where I'll go, this is just who's going to make more threes. It's not about, the reason I love college football so much is I feel like I can throw on a game and know which conference is playing. Like, granted, I'm going to know who the teams are, but if you just, made the uniforms blank, I could probably go like, oh, this feels like a Pac-12 game. This is a Big 12. This is an SEC game.
Yeah.
And basketball growing up, depending on what your roster was, what your strengths, weaknesses were, you would try to play around that. And basically, basketball has been solved. And for years, when some of these like Rick Pitino in the 90s in Kentucky was like, take more threes, take more threes, take more threes. A lot of people are like, what is this? Barkley, during the beginning of this Warriors run, I love the guy. He picked every single team they went up against, because his NBA, this isn't supposed to happen. This isn't supposed to be successful. It's about post play. It's about the big guys and all that stuff. And then we realized it actually isn't. And you just have to outperform the other team with threes. So Steph was part of that. The analytics was part of it.
It's pretty too.
And look, no one's ever done it better. And Steph's the best shooter ever, and he's part of the best shooting backcourt that we've ever seen.
Clay too, because Clay
does it.
Dude, Clay's a fucking nasty shooter too.
Well, of course he is, but
dude, Clay can shoot.
I think Clay is one of the rarely like wired NBA guys. It's like, I'd rather just be with this and dominate and not be the headliner. Where I think a lot of guys end up leaving going, hey, I want to win, but what I really want is everything to work for me. And then if the winning happens, that's cool.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean,
it's so different from a football.
But thing. He's up there in the top 5 best shooters of all time too.
Oh, no question.
That's crazy. But you never he's with Curry, who just so happens to be the best of all time.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It was like you and Welker.
Get out of here with that. What are we talking about?
Dude, inside routes. Third man.
I was
we
different.
Just covered it.
I was different. He was smaller. I was in different spots. I had like 60% of my catches on the outside there, Ryan.